everybody, and welcome. I'm so excited, so happy to have everyone here. Massive welcome to our poetry festival. Both to everyone here, all of the wonderful poets who are with us, and also to those of you who are watching us at home. We're so happy to have you here. So I'm coming to you from York in the UK. Tonight's event is part of York's Refugee Week celebrations. Refugee Week, for those of you who might not know, is a week-long celebration of the contribution of refugees. And it centres around World Refugee Day, which is this Saturday, the 20th of June. So this evening, we will be exploring the theme of belonging through poetry. And so excitingly, we have poets joining us from several corners of the world. And we're even lucky enough to be hearing poems in several different languages. So awesome. So this event is a fundraiser for a local charity to York, Refugee Action York, or RAY. It's a charity which provides a range of services to asylum seekers and refugees and migrants in York, and also campaign alongside individuals and families who are at risk of detention or deportation. The organisers of this event, so that's me, I'm Verity, hi, and Amy, who is here, and Steffi, who is here somewhere. It says she's York Refugee Week, but she is actually Steffi. We're all volunteers, very happily. And now we're gonna play a short video which showcases some of the work of RAY, in usual times, but also how they have adapted their services during COVID-19 as well. So take it away, video. Awesome. So yeah, as you can see, they do brilliant work. This evening we'll try and raise as much money for them as possible. Please donate if you're able. There's a Just Giving link in the video description and also in the comments. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us. If you want to tweet us, you can tweet at Week York, which is Refugee Action York's Twitter, and also Ray's Twitter is at Refact York, and our hashtag is Refugee Poetry Fest 2020, and all of that is in the description, so you don't have to remember what I just said. And also, of course, thank you again so much to all of the poets who are here joining us. Really cannot wait to hear your work. Let's get started. So without further ado, we'll go over to our first poet, which is Helen Hills. Please, Helen.
Hello, thank you. This is a brand new poem. It's called Library in Lockdown. Our reading rooms are nothing without you, said the message from the British Library just now. Wonderment. I've been thinking of the reading rooms, these last reading room empty weeks. No books on desks, no lit up screens, no dark figured darting, unpopulated, nothing stirring, except maybe a fly on its forlorn lost scramble to an invisible destination, maybe the hum of ventilation. But no dew dashing first in the rare books, silver streaked freshness in the morning, slamming the best desk, number 251, clicking on the lamp, each lamp to its own blue desk, graciously bestowing all its concentration and attention. Concentration and attention kindly lent to each reader, extended in that way that libraries do. No hum of bodies hunched, no glances snatched, borrowed, turned, exchanged, thwarted, shiftily below, across desks and lamps. No delicious pleasure, of stealing out for coffee, no leather-bound creaking, no sudden bright of rag cloth pages, no slight stretch of dust and ink and turn of page, no crackle of paper intermingled with the inkety tink of a film stream, interlaced, interleaved, interspliced, cleaved, leaved, relieved long ago readers, relived and now believed. Uncannily emergent when something seeps out, when a page is turned. That something that is not read, that is illegible, that cannot quite be said, something of my page in theirs, in ours, an interlinking, earmarking that can't be heard, a rereading, sighing, lying, grieving, yearning, straining, dreaming of books and readers emergent and intermeshed. Opening, no. No indecipherable, unutterable, inimitable hum like an insect, a swarm, an energy that connects. No, none of all that. No opening of readers and desks and lamps. I have been thinking of the library empty, not even waiting in its emptiness, not even biding its time, not even empty. For a library is not a library without reading and readers reading and the sounds and smells of readers and reading, pages being turned, readers being turned into readers, being turned into a library, turning like the blue globe, like planets across the universe, like stars beyond its darkest space. No, none of all that. Just a place with books, no longer able to be a library, voided, nulled, avoided and annulled, voided of its libraryness. Oh, there's nothing as dead as the library unread. Dear readers, says the library, dear readers, each and every time, each time we enter, each time we pull back those slightly resistant, slightly reluctant, slightly stubborn, blue leathered, upholstered chairs. Dear library, dear desk, dear dedicated lamp, says the reader each and every time. But now no readers humming together, no swarm, no annoying reader speaking too loudly at inquiries in a very entitled public school sort of voice. No, none of that. Though for sure he'll be pressing inquiries elsewhere at the socially distant supermarket perhaps. But it's not of him. It is the library I've been thinking of, holding in my eye, its illuminated desks, like insect eyes with a myriad prisms, and each reader in that inkling connection of libraryness that is more than just books and light and desks and people and more than people reading. But readers, for we are not readers, though we might read books, we are not readers. The library is not a stir, it's not a library, cannot begin to be a library until we get back there together again. And when we do, and the light falls gently on each desk, each chair, each face and pages turn to face the faces, and the lights begin to quietly share and stare into the stares of reading eyes and chairs and blue leather surprise, and the slight give of the desktop responds to the book and the thumb and the laptop's weight and hum, and the breath that is let out by reader becoming more than reader, and something more than text straight off the page, but swarm and hum, and the lift of breathing, lighting, seeing, desks bestowing. Old flies' wings will then take wing, and the library will be open, and the library will be a library again. Thank you.
Thank you, Helen. That was beautiful. I love what you did with that. I will resist the urge from taking 10 minutes to tell everyone how awesome I think their poems are, because we'll run out of time. Thank you, Helen. Thank you so much. Okay, next up we have Abby. Take it away, Abby.
Hello, my name is Abby. I'm in Kansas City, Missouri in America. I wanted to share 2 short poems that I wrote that are actually in a forthcoming chapbook that I have called The Odds Against a Starry Cosmos. So here is the first one. Something I need to say is always I love you, is always good morning. Did you see the moon last night? I thought about you when the sun set. I'm always thinking about you, and I know you don't know. Or maybe you do. Maybe you have more faith than I do. Still, I feel the need to remind you, open my mouth, let my tongue be bird or planet in orbit, worry less about making sense. The stars don't make sense and we still call them beautiful. still use them to make sense of our world, turn to them for navigation. If you are the ocean and I am the shore, this love is the delta, the place of settling. You know, the earth doesn't disappear into the sea. They just become one where they meet, the way the world used to all be one, or the universe, until the Big Bang, until the moment when what was ceased in order to become at last. And the second poem is The Odds Against a Starry Cosmos, refer to Q, the degree of non-uniformity in the cocktail of elements in the Big Bang, a ratio smaller than 0.0001, and the universe would have been rendered too smooth, stillborn, without atoms and elements, trapped in sterile homogeneity. If Q had been a fraction larger than 0.0001, the violence and turbulence would have rendered unrecognizable lumps of matter that could never fragment into stars. The fundamental mystery, the precision of the early universe, 0.0001 led to you, my love, here with your green sweater unraveling slightly at the waist, mitten hands holding your mug as we watch the snow fall, flakes disappearing into the cluster of mallows caught in the swirl of dark chocolate.
That's lovely.
That was beautiful, Abby. Thank you. Thank you. And you mentioning your book actually reminded me, I just want to say quickly that details of poets, artist pages and upcoming books and work is all in the description of this video. So please check it out. Thank you, Abby. Next up, we have Samiullah. Right, take it away. Thank you. Can you hear us?
Yes, sure.
There we go. Wonderful.
Hi, I'm Shazamir. I read for Samiullah. He's my friend. I cannot to be tonight here on his here poem. I read in German. Ich stamme von einer Schale, die mich zu entreißen mir immer Schmerzen bereitete und bis heute unvollkommen ist. Ich gehöre zu einer Schale, die seit meiner Geburt keinen frohen Tag gesehen hat. Ich hänge noch so sehr an dieser Schale, dass das Atmen mir hier noch immer schwer fällt. Das Chaos, aus dem ich komme, ist mir so vertraut, dass ich mich die Sicherheit hier verunsichert. Man sagt, die Heimat ist die Mutter. Meine Mutter und meinem Mutterland bin ich so fern. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Shazamir. Thank you for reading the poem for your friend.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you. Awesome. And next we go to Rosemarie. Please, Rosemarie, take it away. I can't wait to hear your poem. Can you unmute yourself, Rosemarie? In the bottom left of your iPad, I think Helen said before. Have you found it? We can't hear you, Rosemarie. Can you see the button?
I think internet might have dropped out.
Oh, I'll tell you what, we'll come back to you, Rosemarie. We'll go to the next person and come back to you. And we'll see if you've worked it out. Awesome, no problem. So next is Yaser.
Hast du dein Buch?
Nee, habe ich
Mein
nicht.
Gott, du bist doch echt ein Pflaume, Mann.
Hello.
Hold on a
Hello.
second, please. It's a little bit quick for him. Here,
Hello.
No problem, no problem.
practice this.
I am Yaser Nikzadh. I come from Germany. And I want to read my gedichte. کنارم باش و ببین چه به سرم آمد هرچه آمد تمام شد و رفت ولی رفته‌اش در دلم هست یادم اومد ساعتی کف اتوبوس که وقتی جای خالی نبود پاها خوش شده بود خواب در چشمان غلط میزد اما جای خوابی نبود سر راهی پلیس استاپ و برگشت در قطار همه در کابین ولی من در راه رو وقتی قایقی غرق شد دلم از اروپا سرد شد بازگشتن خسته و آن وقتی که همه عالم و آدم در خوابن ما در راه بی پایان خسته تشنه گرسنه ولی رفتن که رفتن بازگشتن چه سخت است همه جان کندن ها فقط و فقط برای آسایش من نه فقط خانواده من
Nein, du liest jetzt bitte schön in
auf Deutsch?
Deutsch, genau.
Ja.
Du liest sogar in Englisch. Nee, ist nicht in Englisch. Nee, ist okay.
Sei neben mir und sieh, was mir geschehen ist. Es ist vorbei, die Spuren noch im Herzen. Kein Platz für mich, für Schlaf in diesem Bus. Die Füße vertrocknet, der Traum versank im Auge. Die Polizei sagte, stopp, geht zurück. Alle dann in den Waggons, nur ich allein auf dem Gleis. Das Schlauchboot sank. Schlauchboot sank. Und mein heißes Herz vor Europa wurde kalt. Die Welt schlief, nur wir waren wach. Hungrig, durstig, müde. Wir sind ja weggegangen. Schwieriger Wert zurückzukehren. Die ganze sich zerreißen, nur für ein bisschen Ruhe. Bisschen. Nicht meine Ruhe, die Ruhe meiner Familie. Dankeschön.
Thank you, Yaser. That was awesome. Wonderful. Thank you so much. Wonderful. Rosemarie, do we have you? Have we managed to?
No, it's
Rosemarie, can you hear us? This mute unmute thing on Zoom. It's a nightmare.
Right, should be now.
Yeah, we can hear you. Awesome. Take it away, Rosemarie. Can't wait.
Okay. I've got two poems to read tonight, both on the theme of belonging, which I thought was really wonderful. The first poem is about the first time I realized I didn't belong, and it's called Exile. I remember the train and the rain slashing down the window and not touching the emergency cord, and tears running rivers down my cheeks. I remember the cold and the bad temper filling the carriage and not touching the emergency cord and the train tracks clacking into winter. I remember the grey and the black hole filling my chest and my legs fading into the foggy air and not touching the emergency cord. I remember the time, the hours, the day, the eternity of it. I remember the red of the emergency cord and Mum's face, a grim warning. I remember Scotty, my dog, crying and whining through his sewn-up mouth, left behind, forgotten on the train, not able to reach the emergency cord. And the second poem is, I think somebody mentioned it before as a theme about what refugees can do for us. This one's called Cat Sanctuary. The two commas of their tails, followed by their yellow-green gaze, glinting from the high polish of their boot-black fur, welcome us home. We are their familiars. I am allowed to sleep on their bed as long as I keep my allotted space, to eat when they are done, to act as doorman at their whim. And we are grateful they chose our doorstep, abandoned at 4 months old, crying to be let in all the afternoon. Silken sisters, chalk and cheese, they form their own unit as we do ours. They remain aloof, have their own rules, pander to ours, They thrive and tease, steal food and hearing aids, shred envelopes, demand their rights. They fight a lot as sisters do, and when they get too boisterous, we shout. When our fights get ugly, they come and sit between us. One purrs, the other has one paw on my leg, one paw on his arm, offering us their empathy, putting our methods to shame. Miracle undulates past the sofa with the back of the Queen of Sheba, while magic follows, the more comfortable shape of an old-fashioned wee wifey. She it is who sits on the ottoman, keeping her eye on the front of house periphery. Miracle, creature of indolence, twines around my garden chair, resting with me in the shade of the crabapple tree, while magic is up and over the fence, patrolling the borders, repelling all borders, frightening next door's yapping dog into stunned silence. The arch of their backs, their long drawn out bone-cracking stretches, the fanged red yawn of their self-containedness, their angel marks, remind us they are the strangers on our shores. We may have given them shelter, food, refuge from constant fear, but they bring us grace, healing, sanctuary for our battered souls. Thank you.
That was wonderful, Rosemarie. Thank you so much for sharing those with us. It's awesome. All of the poems so far have been amazing. Thank you so much, everyone. And if you're watching at home and you agree, please do look at the Just Giving link. Think of it as a tip to the awesome poets that goes to an amazing cause. Awesome, thank you. So we did Yaser, and next we have Robbie. Please take it away, Robbie. Can't wait.
Hi, thanks, Verity. I have two poems. I was only going to read one, but let's see how long this takes, because they're both about refugees. And this is in my 192 miles with Carla. I'm holding that up because it's not in the document, so I'm just showing you that, but it's self-promotion. This is about the Syrian mother in England. The flower-eating girl. There's something under the pine. I think it's feeding. Sounds of teeth. My torch rings her in pillowcase white, waterboards her, flat against the blue-black night. She's 9 or 10, a pajama suit of mud, sticks, leaves slapped by light. Her hair is clumped wool, weighed down with jewels of earth. She wears a necklace of 7 blue tit hides strung by the neck. I notice petals of jasmine, 5 or so, circling her mouth, a milkshake moustache. Her eyes, 2 green stars in the white, closed. Distant snap, twigs, gone. That first summer, I made salads, artichoke hearts, romaine lettuce, plum tomatoes, stuffed olives, feta cheese, za'atar my own, with less sumac for my go, skin-thin sliced onion, hardly any red left to see, and mint, jasmine flowers. Reds, greens, white, on a black plate, to the side some dates and a bowl for sweet. One morning some cheese had gone. That was all. Those days were long and heavy. They breathed in all the light still bursting and let it out in short gasps of night to leave folding, flattened ruinations of food, the colors melding into the browning of summer. The herbs dried up. Mint weakened like old soldiers. I had little hope for the fava beans. Was it the cumin, the parsley, the too many lemons? Whatever. Not even the crows bothered. Later, I thought olive oil would prevent freezing. It did. And I smoothed my hummus, hoping for footprints at dawn. None came. Not even a dew-filled fingered furrow. I'd frozen some jasmine to use. The petals were flat against the rim, bruised, and old bandage white. The minutiae bread perished in the night. Some hope, then. Fourth summer now. Smile lines, she called them, giggling as she counted, ecstatic when shushed, tears wetting her black hair. There are more now, around the eyes, deeper, great crevices, their valley bottoms slightly lighter than the peaks when I stretched them out. She'd be 12 now, the flower-eating girl, turning her mind to fruits and seeds. I had a dream. The roses, the hybrid teas, the vainglorious, pompous baubles had gone, all in one night, all down the street, heads plucked clean of colour, bald with emerald ruffs, to be chilled by England. But it was winter. I awoke in darkness. The roses a long way off. I eased my 2 fat hips downstairs to find my house bathed in the smell of damp English soil. Okay, thank you. I'm not sure if I have time for another or not.
That was awesome, thank you. And actually we're running ahead of schedule, so if you had another poem that you wanted to share, I think we have time. So
okay,
please do.
This is, sorry, again about an immigrant, and it's a bit bonkers. It's a bit surreal, quite different to the last one. It's called Here We Do Things Differently. Shave, shirt, porridge, straight to work. Under the carpet, in the far corner of the bedroom, through the plasterboard, next doors, floors, wood strips, past the joists, downstairs ceiling, nudged chandelier, through cream shag pile, fibres in my hair, into the Blair's au pair's room, their spare rooms past it paint, to dusty floor, then through its base of blinding grey cement, into winter grey, morning's late dawn. Its slimy town dew, the jagged scent of exhaust fumes. I burst through a steel skin and come to rest in a seat as the bus sets off and matches my pace. I'm inside the foam, an inch from a spine, and look round. A tomb of honeycomb sponge, enough hair for a new fur coat, and a mite right there, ugly brute with skin in its mouth. Then I'm off again. As the bus slows down, I'm through the seat, the man's spine and heart, through the dense, lightless white of his ribs, his plastic button, and out through the windscreen and into the street. I crash through the wall of my office right next to the hole I made yesterday that has been patched up as usual. I shower Beverly in concrete. She turns to say I'm late. Then news came through. 1 dead, bisected by a superhero, a bus made inactive, 2 flats damaged, many traumatized. In this country, we speak in eddies and traveling curves. It's the 3rd time this week someone's died. I realize I don't know how to change. They moved me upstairs, top floor, open window. Downstairs are repairing, but the Blairs say they miss me in the mornings, and it's dawning on me that I no longer need an Oyster card, but there are new holes to fill. Right, thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Robbie. Thank you. That's awesome. And I just want to let everyone know, the poets that are here, who probably can't see what's going on YouTube, that lots of people are commenting and saying how awesome all of your work is. So thank you so much. You'll be able to see it afterwards, but I don't know if you can right now. So okay, brilliant. Thank you, Robbie. And next we have Sarah. Please, Sarah, you're up.
Hi everybody, lovely to see you all. Thanks Verity, and lovely to hear your poems, everybody. Lovely flower eating girl, Robbie, excellent. It's great to be part of this festival that does so much for the community, so thanks for inviting me. So my name is Sarah Wimbush, and I'm a poet based in Leeds, and I belong to York Stanza Group. And I'm going to read a poem. It's the title poem from my pamphlet, which is called Bloodlines. And Bloodlines is a collection of poetry about my gypsy traveller heritage. And this poem that I'm going to read explores that identity. So it really is a poem about belonging and being part of a community, even though it's sort of one step back. So in this poem, there are a few Romany words, so I'll just give you a heads up. Action tans are stopping places. Chore is to take or steal. Gorges are non-gypsy traveller folk, and Bavel is wind. And this poem is called Bloodlines. In the bloodlines, there's a hooped earring. In the bloodlines, there's an open Vardo door. Ramsons on the other side. Songs and seasons wave at you from the bloodlines. Achintans watch you fly. In the bloodlines, there's an acorn of swagger that inflates into a barrel wearing a vest. In the bloodlines, there is nothing to offer up to the old world except a pair of chamois booties, your past, their past. Bloodlines stare, bemused by the chant of tables, a company car, lunch. Bloodlines hoik slingshots at woodcock and snipe. Damp earth is a must as you lie with the bloodlines. Some scratch the name of the wind into elm with a crochet hook. Others chaw lollipops from children. Bloodlines can't hear you, but they follow you in a handful of photographs and crumpled vowels, the shortening clay pipe, gorger folk. In the bloodlines, you make yourself make steamed pudding, then eat salad. In the bloodlines, there's a long blue thread. In the lee and the lanes, there must be someone who can tell you about the bloodlines, about the rhythm of your tongue, your flying fox glare, the need to set curtains ajar at night. What are you searching for in the darkness? Why are you? And yet it's the bloodlines that murmur on the Bavel, bloodlines that understand the spell of a campfire, your attraction to gold. How, if I shook my pale face from gullet to hairline, the world would turn scarlet, and all that pours out will be road. Thank you.
That was beautiful, Sarah. Thank you so much.
Thank
you. And again, Sarah's book, as with several of the other poets, details is all in the description of this video below. So please check it out because these poets are awesome. Thank you. Okay, so next up we have Rojin. Please take it away. Thank you. You're still muted, Rojin. Could you unmute yourself?
Hello.
Hey, we can hear you now. Awesome.
My name is Rojin. I'm from Syria and I'm 17 years old. My poem is about not knowing yet where I belong. And I will read it in German. Zugehörigkeit ist auf die Suche gehen, der eigenen inneren Leere zu entfliehen. Ist die Suche, der Suche nach dem Sinn des Lebens zu entfliehen. Es heißt immer, man fühlt sich zu einem Ort, einer Person, einem Ding zugehörig. finde diesen Ort, diese Person, dieses Ding. Aber ich bin da, dort, mittendrin, bei dir, ihr und ihm, an Ort und Stelle und fühle mich zu nichts zugehörig. Diesen Ort, diese Person, dieses Ding muss ich in mir finden, weil ich sie außerhalb mir nicht finden kann. Ich gehöre zu der Landschaft meiner Adern, zu der Person, die Umstände aus mir gemacht haben und zu dem Ding, das in meiner linken Kammer pocht. Wenn ich an Zugehörigkeit denke, fällt mir ein, dass ich mich zu nichts zugehörig fühle, weil wir Zugehörigkeit mit Heimat und Liebe und Familie und Religion verbinden, weil wir immer auf die Suche da draußen gehen und nicht in unserem Inneren. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. Thank you. That was beautiful. Thank you so much. And yes, I hope everyone agrees that even if we're listening to poems that are perhaps not in a language that we understand, we can really feel what's going on behind the poems. That was really, really awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you. Okay, fantastic. And next up we have Tanya. Please take it away, Tanya. Hello.
This is a very straightforward poem, recently written, but written in two voices. You imagine it has two titles, but it's one poem. So, and the titles are Refugee and then Divorcee. So it's in two voices. Excuse me if I don't know your name. I don't know my own. Excuse me if I can't place you. I don't recognize myself. Excuse me if I can't direct you. I have no idea where I am. Excuse me if I don't trust you. I don't trust anyone. Excuse me if I am silent. I don't know the words you want. Excuse me for standing my ground. It is not yours to take. It's not from my book, but I'm just going to do a quick plug on behalf of Rose Drew and Alan Gillett, I have a collection, The Problem with Beauty. So if anybody, can you see that? Probably not. If anybody would like to maybe have a look at some more pieces, that'd be great. But that's all I have for the moment. But after the break, maybe if we have some extra time. Thank you for letting me read. Okay.
Thank you for reading, Tanya. That was beautiful. Thank you so much. Awesome. Thank you. And next up, we have Selena. Please. You're still on mute, Selena. I'll try and unmute you.
Yes, yes.
There we go.
I'm Selena. I'm 50 years old, and I'm just 2 years in German. And now I reading my poem about belonging. Yeah. I read in Persian and then in German. من تعلق به کشوری هستم که خون من، رگ من به آن تعلق دارد. من تعلق به خانواده‌ای هستم که سالها برای من زحمت کشیدند. من تعلق به مادری هستم که برای من سالها جنگیدند تا من زندگی آرامی داشته باشم. من به جای تعلق دارم که مرا شاد می سازد تا بتانم زندگیم را بهتر بسازم. من تعلق به یک جایی مثل جزیره دارم تا بتانم رویاهایی که دارم به حقیقت برسانم. من تعلق به زندگی دارم که مخاطبهای خاص من در آن باشند. من تعلق به جایی دارم که نجات پرستی و خشونت در آن نباشد. من تعلق به رویاهایی دارم که در کودکی آنها را از دست دادم. And now I read it in German. Ich gehöre zu einem Land, zu dem mein Blut und meine Venen gehören. Ich gehöre zu einer Familie, die sich jahrelang um mich bemühte. Ich gehöre zu einer Mutter, die jahrelang um mich gekämpft hat, damit ich ein ruhiges Leben habe. Ich gehöre an den Ort, der mich froh macht und der mich ein gutes Leben beschert. Ich gehöre auf eine Insel, die meine Träume wahr werden lässt. Ich gehöre zu meinem Leben, in dem meine Gegenüber Verständnis für mich zeigt. Ich gehöre zu einem Leben, in dem Rassismus und Niederträchtigkeit keinen Platz haben. Ich gehöre an den Ort jener Traume, die ich als Kind zurücklassen musste. Thank you.
Thank you. That was so beautiful. Thank you. And I don't know if everyone can see the comments within the Zoom chat, but also on YouTube.